Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on Cruise Control! Yep, if you haven't guessed it, Tom Cruise is back and he's with a new blockbuster film, Oblivion, starring the man himself, Tom Cruise, Andrea Riseborough, I think that's how you pronounce her name, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the other girl's name, but I will say it's the chick from Quantum of Solace and the Hitman films, and we have God himself, Morgan Freeman. And to be honest, this film, when I first saw the trailer, wasn't really too impressed with it. I kind of felt it seemed a bit boring and like stuff we've seen before, so obviously it wasn't really all hyped up to go and see this. But will this film change my mind about it? Sadly, no. Now, the story is basically just the same as any other kind of post-apocalyptic sort of world, or like the world, you know, destruction and whatnot. And basically Tom Cruise and sort of Andrea are basically the clean-up crew. Like they go down, fix, you know, droids that have been somehow been, you know, not working and all that, and they've been promised to go back up to space with the rest of the colony. Only problem is Tom Cruise wants to kind of stay his feet on the ground because he enjoys it. He prefers it to staying there and not so. So with that all in mind, you know, starts happening, weird stuff starts happening, and all of a sudden Tom Cruise is met by the chick from Quantum of Solace, and this is when everything kind of it's thrown from Tom Cruise's world, you know, a complete sort of backflip. And this is where you see a couple of really good things happening. There's a couple of things that I did not see in the trailer that I remember, and I was really kind of like surprised, and it's really quite cool that like you see it like probably about halfway through the film and near the end, and I think that was pretty damn cool. The only problem was that they never really touched on it again after it kind of just happened, like the one that halfway through it. So it just kind of like, you know, it then just became just another generic kind of post-apocalyptic world. And to be honest, we've seen this millions of times before now. Is there anything really in this film that I really did like? Well, the action scenes were pretty cool, and I like the sort of Tom Cruise's living pad. You know, Tom Cruise has like about sort of 2 living pads, and to be honest, they seem like peaceful and relaxed. And I actually wouldn't mind sort of living in either one of those. I probably will say that the 2 chicks, they play their roles real well, because first off, you know, Andrea, I think, is starting to become one of these upcoming sort of actresses, and you know, you might have recognised her from Welcome to the Punch, and do you know what, she was good in that, and she's really good in this. And obviously the Quantum of Solace chick, you know, I haven't really seen her for quite a while, but it was good to see her back on the big screen in a blockbuster film, and she did pretty not bad. Morgan Freeman basically was Morgan Freeman, to be honest. Let's be honest here. This was just Morgan Freeman. He just came in one day, you know, shot his role, and that was him. Like, he probably just had an espresso or something, because it was just Morgan Freeman playing Morgan Freeman. Now that this is where everything I really don't like about the film, I don't hate the film, but this is just things I just don't like. First off, Tom Cruise, that role could have been played by anyone. Really, any sort of decent actor out there could have played that role. Because the problem was that I've seen this kind of stuff from Tom Cruise before, so it's quite easy for him to play that kind of role. So if you've already seen him play a role like that, what's the point of him replaying it then? And I think the only reason why people are going to see it because of A, Tom Cruise, and B, Morgan Freeman. The next thing is, like, the film is so boring. There's nothing pretty much that happens in this film, you know, except for the action scenes and, you know, the things that happen halfway near the end. That kind of like is all really fine and dandy, but the rest is just so boring, and it sometimes kind of repeats itself a little bit. And I feel as though they could have cut like 15-20 minutes out of this film, because this is like over 2-hour movie, including credits, right? Just over 2 hours. If you cut those, you know, that length, it's short enough for people, you know, for a nice quick blockbuster, and also it might have been a bit more sort of interesting. It just kind of dragged on too much, you know, and I was getting bored. Would I recommend this film? I would recommend it as a rental, because it's that kind of film. You're not going to walk out the cinema and your life's going to be completely changed or whatnot. You might talk about it with your friends or something, but to be honest, it's a rental film. That's the only way I see it. And I mean, the film is good, but it's just, we've seen this stuff before, and and nah, it's just a good film. That's it. That's all I've got to say.